everyone, and welcome to another inspiring episode of the Digimompreneurs Live. I'm one of your hosts, Mary Chris. I'm a Filipina immigrant, a wife, a mom of three, and a full time fifth grade teacher here in New Mexico, USA. Together with my husband Jesse, we're building a business alongside with our full-time careers. We have three young adult children that are studying in college here in New Mexico, USA. And I'm doing this business because of my family. They are my greatest why I started this business and also for my early retirement because I don't want to wait for 65 or 66 years old and that is too long to wait. So that is from me, Sis Banji. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone, or good morning, good afternoon, where you tuning from. So my name is Evangeline or Banji Mendoza for short, currently living here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and of course also from the Cebu, Philippines. And I am mom, and then of two lovely girls, a wife, and then working in the healthcare industry for more than 14 years, and now doing part time because of this business. More time for my families and also self care. And I know they are my biggest wow. I started in this business to have extra income, a flexible income without sacrificing my time, or instead of working part time or uh, part a full-time job. So for me, this is my biggest decision ever for more than 4 years for my family and also for myself. So yes, this is I love what I'm doing. I love to share about this business. So here I am and keeping strong. Okay, so yes, thank you, sis. Marcus, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sis Banji. And Sis Polita, kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, thank you, sis. Good evening, everyone. I am Paulita here in Calgary, and I am a mother of four grown-up children with new kids. So I am a day home provider, and I've been in the business for 3 years. And also, my biggest why is for my retirement because we know we don't wait. We don't want to wait until we reach the age of retirement, which is 65, or let's say if someone is lucky you can retire on that age, but if not, that's why I'm building my plan B for my future retirement and for my children who are my biggest why I started my business, because as a single mom I want to build and I want to be around with my children and my grandchildren, and I also want to bring back those time that I've been away or I'm missing lots of milestone like their graduation, their birthday, because as a single mom, I have to work abroad from Taiwan to down here in Canada just to support my children back home. I know it's too hard being a single parents out there who are also watching us right now. As a single parents, you have to do everything for your children because that's how we prove to ourselves that we can give them a bright future by starting on also an online business. I was no, I know it's not one night rich, and I am still working on my dream, but I always put in my head that why I started a business and what is my biggest why I started this. So that's all for me, and thank you. Back to you, sis.
Thank you so much, Sis Polita. And Sis Del, please introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, sis. Yes, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am Del. I'm originally from Cebu, and I'm here in Tennessee, USA. And I am also a wife, a mom, and also a grandma with a 7 months old baby boy. And I work in the healthcare. I'm a farmer, a baker, and I joined this business because of my family. And of course, life is too short. And I would like to, I cannot wait until 65. I hope I get there. So, especially now that I have some health problems. So, but we're here and everything gonna be okay. Thank you, sis.
Thank you so much, Sis Del. And yes, today, we have an amazing guest whose story I believe will encourage many of you. especially nurses, healthcare professionals, teachers, busy parents, and anyone who has ever wondered if it is possible to build something alongside a full time job. Please join me in welcoming a warm welcome to our special guest in the Digimompreneurs Live. Let us welcome Coach Dustin Pretty from Canada. Let us give him a big round of applause.
Oh,
So I will just continue with my introduction for Coach Dustin. Coach Dustin is a registered nurse who has dedicated his career to serving and caring for others. Like many healthcare professionals, he understands that what it likes to work long hours, manage demanding schedules, and balance work with your personal life or with your family. So instead of simply accepting this is the only path available, Coach Dustin decided to explore another opportunity. He began learning new digital skills while continuing his nursing career. Through consistency, patience, and willingness to learn, he gradually built his digital business alongside his profession. Today, Coach Dustin has the flexibility to work as a part time registered nurse, giving him more choices in how he spends his time while continuing to grow his business. What I appreciate about Coach Dustin is it's not only what he has accomplished, but also his passion for helping others that they believe she believes that it's never too late to start learning something new. His journey reminds us that you don't have to change everything overnight. Sometimes all it takes is one decision to begin. So, if you ever felt stuck in the same routine, wondered if you're too busy, or questioned whether you're capable of learning something new, I encourage you to stay with us until the very end. I believe Coach Dustin's story will leave you feeling inspired and encouraged. So, Coach Dustin, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. It's truly an honor to have you with us tonight. We're excited to hear your story and the lessons we learn along the way. Welcome to the Digimompreneurs Live, Coach Dustin. And now, please introduce yourself. Go ahead.
wow. I think you already did that for me, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me. So, as you know, my name is Dustin. I currently reside in Calgary, Canada, Alberta. I've been here for probably 7 years now. But for the longest time, I was a nurse for 16 years. And just like yourself, I was looking for something more. And didn't really think of anything in the online space just because I didn't know how to do anything in the online space, to be honest. I didn't really know social media. I avoided it. But I knew that I needed something more, like most of us, right? I could no longer do the 12-hour shifts. I could no longer feel that burnt out feeling, right? Especially when you're a nurse, you're sleeping during the day, you're away from your family, you're missing birthdays, milestones, and so forth. So I no longer wanted to do that. So here I am now. Fast forward, I've been in this business now for 6 years. And actually, I am not part-time nursing. I'm actually retired from nursing. And I retired as of last year in April, and I've been doing this business now full-time. So because of this business, but like many of us know, it's not something that happens overnight, right? It is something that takes time, effort, consistency, dedication, right? We're not in something that you become rich overnight, right? That's not the premise of this business. It's to plug in and have a plan B and follow through to actually have something more than just a 9 to 5. So
Thank you so much, Coach Dustin. Yes, that is really very inspiring. Wow, Coach Dustin just retired last year because of this business. Can't you see, guys, what is possible in the digital business world? That is why you need to stay and keep watching and keep listening, because yeah, you will truly be inspired. So let us go right away to our first question. Sis Banji, kindly present our question number one.
Okay, so yes, this is the first question for you, Coach. So, um, who is Dustin Pretty outside of a digital business, and what was life like as a full-time registered nurse before you discovered this business?
Yeah, good question. Where do I start? Myself, I am now 40. I can't believe I'm 40. That much closer to 65, right? It's crazy. But yeah, I'm 40 years old. I am basically outside of my business. I partake in a lot of volunteer work. So I'm a big advocate of volunteering for the Humane Society. I love to go and give back, right? So not only am I compassionate and giving in my actual nursing career when I was doing it full time, but I like to kind of do that in my personal life as well. So I like to give back the most majority of my time. I'm a big Marvel nerd. I'm very much so invested in feeling like I'm still a little kid, and I'm okay with that. I'm very much so the person who likes to make sure that the little kid inside me is very happy. And so I'm big into watching all sorts of superhero shows, superhero movies. But I'm also a big family guy, so I like to kind of really invest a lot of time and energy into my family. For me, a big push for actually coming into this business is I lost my dad 6 years ago. And that was a big thing for me and big eye opener for me that life is short and I needed something more than just a 9 to 5. So family has taken precedence more so than it did before. Not that I didn't have connection with my family, not that I didn't love being around my family, but when you lose somebody like a parent, it becomes a lot more present and a lot more necessary to be more in the now, right, and be more present for them. So what was my life like before discovering this business? Definitely like anybody, when you're a nurse, it's much different than typical careers. We always hear it all the time. A lot of people say nursing is a lot, physically, mentally, emotionally. It can be a little bit taxing and overwhelming. For me, I worked a lot of night shift. So for me, I slept a lot during the day. I would work 12-hour shifts, get off at 7, get home by 8, sleep until 2 or 3, go to the gym, and then go back to work. And that was really a repetitive thing for me. And the way our shifts work is that you would work a bunch of night shifts, get off, have 1 or 2 days off, and then flip back to day shifts. So I missed out on milestones. I missed out on time with my family, birthdays. I missed out on time with my dad, right? So a lot of it was just working. Unfortunately, I think you all can feel the same way as well. But then you just kind of get to that place in your life where you're like, there has to be more than just going to work, paying your bills, and then that's that, right? So the last, since I started this business 6 years ago, I've been able to have more to my life. We'll probably get to that in the next few questions, but I didn't do much else, to be honest, than work and try to spend time with family and volunteer, and then just kind of be more introverted and spend more time by myself.
Thank you so much, Coach Dustin. We can really relate to your story because we are also working. For me, I've been teaching for 29 years, Coach, and there's nothing, I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. That is why I decided to start the digital business because I know my pay is just enough to pay the bills. Thank you so much, Coach, for sharing your story. And I'm so sorry for your loss of your dad. And yeah,
Mm.
uh, we will be praying that yeah you will be having that peace and that relief of grief later on in life.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
absolutely.
And sis Banji, what is your reaction of Coach Dustin's answer for our first question?
Yes, it's very inspiring, and I know how it feels, working in the night shift in the healthcare industry. And also, of course, life is short. So that's what it really took me like, we have time for our family, especially my lovely girls. And whatever it takes, I have to do it for them and also for the legacy. So that's why I'm chopped also in this business. So I'm so inspired for you, coach. How very brave and about also losing for our parents. Like how I know how I feel. So sorry for your loss. And also, of course, we're doing this one for our family. So that's why we are here. That's why uh, we have to be go out of our comfort zone. Even though I am introvert, so whilst I am still here. So that's all for me. So thank you, sis. And back to you, Sis
Thank
Marcres.
you so much, Sis Banji. I'm an introvert too. You cannot let me talk in a live interview or whatever because I'm so shy. But later on, I was able to overcome it one day at a time by showing up every single day. So thank you so much, Sis Banji and Coach Dustin. Thank you so much. And let us go to our second question. Sis Polita, kindly present our second question.
Hi, Coach. This is the second question. What made you decide to explore digital business? Was there a specific moment or challenge in your life that made you realize you wanted to look for another option alongside with your nursing career?
Hmm. I think basically, and most of us know, most of us have the feeling, right, that we're meant for something more. I don't believe that we're meant to just work a 9 to 5 and then, retire at age 65 and that's that, right? That's when you start living life and having fun. I think we are meant for more at a young age and be able to enjoy life at a young age instead of waiting until we're older. So for me, I started exploring this business basically after I spent $85,000 for education that I slowly had to pay back. That was basically a big eye opener for me, right? Spending that much money for school. And then for me, as we talked about previously, I think when you lose somebody that's super close to you, it's a big push to try to find something more, a big push to try to help my mom and navigate all those emotions and those feelings when we did lose my dad. And then just hoping financially you can be okay, right? But it was a big push for me to have more time and time freedom. So the financial gain from this business has been incredible. But for me, realistically, the time freedom is everything. So that was a big aha moment for me is when, I lost my dad. I was starting to feel a certain way before I had lost him, probably a year before I'd lost him. There was something in my mind where I'm like, I need to start looking for something. I need to start pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I got to start looking for something that'll provide, an additional income for me, but nothing really resonated at the time. And so like most of us, I was just on Facebook and I stumbled across a Facebook ad and I was like, well, this is something that, I want to explore further. And so, yeah, that was probably about 7 years ago now. And here we are, like we talked about, just doing this business now full time.
Wow, thank you so much, Coach Dustin. Yes, it's really very amazing. For me, it's a blessing for me that I discovered this business because if I did not find this business, maybe I will just really wait for me to retire until 65 or 66 years old. And Coach Dustin, here in my place, yeah, there are I have co-teachers before that they already retired, they're already 65, some are in their 70s, and then because of the pension is not enough, they went back again, applied again, and teach again because they said that the pension is not enough. That is why, yeah, I really felt blessed that I found this business because there's a big hope for me. I don't need to wait for my retirement for 65 or 70 years old just to retire and have a little pension that will not be enough because the cost of living, it's already going higher and higher every year. So thank you so much for that. And Sis Polita, what are your insights there about Coach Dustin's answer to our second question?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sis Marie Chris. That was very, it resonate to myself. That's what is amazing uh, sh- words from Coach Dustin. So anyway, being from a broken family, you have to support to yourself. And then when I have a kids, I have to support my kids because I promise myself once I have children, I don't want them to experience what I have been through when I was young. So anyway, when I that was before I turned 50, I was looking for an option because I don't want to retire broke. I don't want to die poor because I was born and raised poor family. So we have an option. If we died broke, that is our problem because we can really change the situation. So that is really uh I really resonate that. So that's why when I was looking for an option, that was the time before I turned 50, and I said to myself, is this my life I want to be? Is this my life I want to enjoy? Because when I was looking back my younger age, I was not enjoying my younger time. So that's why I started an online business. So we have an option, and especially this business, we can build lots of momentum, especially to have more time in our family, because this is flexible and very doable for us. As a when we're getting older, we have to look farther. What about our retirement? Do I have money to retire? Who will look after me? Of course, you have to ask yourself, because no one will give you money to retire. You have to do it by yourself. Even you have children, your children is not, you are not the responsible. Their children are not, they are not responsible for your retirement, so you have to do something. So like me, I said earlier, I don't want to die and broke like my parents did. They was just it's like forgotten. But when I have this option, then I did the very best, and especially doing my when my mom 20 years date anniversary, because of this business, I was there and do the reinterment. So I was lucky enough to join this business. And while we are able to do something, because in this world, God give you unlimited source or opportunity. So grab those opportunity, because no one can do it for you. Just go, like, start your online business, like what Coach Dustin said, shared for us. It's very inspiring. And thank you so much. Back to you, sis Chris.
Thank you so much, Sis Polita. And yes, I agree with you that we need really to find an opportunity. And there's always a better opportunity in the online space. And that
Yes.
is the digital business. So let us proceed now to our question number three. Sis Del, kindly present our third question.
Okay, says Marcus, thank you. So, Coach Dustin, this is your question number three. So, like many people, you probably had doubt in the beginning. So, what were your biggest fear or objectives before you started, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us, anybody, starting something new, right? The unknown is scary, so there's always going to be fear, right? So
Yeah.
I think that was probably the biggest obstacle for me. It's not just one of my biggest fears. It was probably fear of failure. I think most of us, when we start something new, we're scared we're going to fail. The unknown is scary, right? Because we don't know what the future is going to bring to us, right? So it's always scary for ourselves. I think for me, the way I was able to move through that is really looking at gratitude, doing a lot of gratitude in the morning, doing a lot of gratitude at night, and just trying to kind of visualize in a future where the life that I wanted, right? Most of us easily get stuck on creating this fantasy or this future of negativity, or scared of what might happen that's very negative. And we have a hard job actually looking at something that could be very positive. So that was a big shift for me, is really trying to analyze and look at my future in a positive light, in a positive way, instead of just being stuck on what could be or go wrong with my business. I started looking at what could go right with my business and where I could be, 5 years from now or 6 years from now. And here I am, 6 years from when I started my business, and I'm doing this business now full time from home, right? So sometimes it's easier to kind of get fixated and get stuck on the negativity, instead of getting fixated and stuck on the positivity. But again, we got to balance those emotions out, right? When we have the negativity, we got to balance it with the positivity. So that is a big thing that I try to recommend and push for a lot of people, is look at the bright side and look at the positive in your business, and not get so stuck on the negative in your business. Kind of the same thing when it comes to your personal life, right? Try to look at things in a positive light instead of a negative light. But I know it's difficult, easier said than done. But when you start training your mind and getting on that same outlook, it becomes easier and easier every day.
So much, Coach Dustin. Yes, Coach Dustin's story is really, he's a living testimony that this business works, that people are retiring from their 9 to 5 job because of this business. So the possibility is 100%. Can't you see? Coach Dustin is already retired last year because of this business. So guys, so this is really a big opportunity for you that you can try. So what can you say about that, Sis Del?
Yes, thank you for that nice message, Coach. And I can relate totally of what you're saying. That pair of feeling,
Mm.
Uh, yeah, we always have doubt. I mean, I started in this business as well. I was so doubtful. So I just feeling, and I don't know what I am doing. I was scared, and and you're right, gratitude. So especially I was when I was start attending in the 60 and beyond with Coach Aranit, that was helped me to with that all those meditation in the morning and at night. That is helped me to you know to improve myself. You know, and by that it's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot. And I know it's not just about the business, and also it's in our life, because life is too short. We just never know what's gonna happen, and we always have that doubt. Like for example, myself right now, I am having some problem in my health, and I'm scared, and I have fear if I don't know if I can still see for my next of my grandkids, or my children. So it's like that. So we always have that point. We all always on that moment. You know, but if we believe ourselves and we have faith on God, everything gonna be okay. So yun lang sis. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sis Dale. Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Dustin, for being so open. Your story reminds us that growth often begins on the other side of uncertainty. And thank you for reminding us that we need really to be positive and hopeful in our life, so that blessings and good things will happen to us. So let us go now to our fourth question. Sis Banji, kindly read our fourth question.
Okay, so this is the fourth question. Today, you're working as a part-time registered. Oh, is this already
Retire.
full-time now? Retired nurse because of this business. So, how has your life changed since building your digital business, and what
See you
does
later.
that added flexibility means to you and your family?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you retire at a younger age than you think that you're going to retire at, things change a lot, right? I never thought that I would be retired at age 40. I still kind of feel like it's surreal when I'm saying it out loud that I'm retired already. Obviously, I always say that I'm not fully retired. I'm semi-retired because I'm not 67 yet, so I can't really be fully retired. I'm semi-retired because I'm only 40. However, I didn't think I would be retired at this age, right? When I look back, when I started this business 6 years ago. It's been a huge blessing for me. Like I said, we talked about earlier, when it comes to financial freedom, time freedom has meant everything to me. There has been a little bit of differences now for me that I got to set my schedule on a daily basis and get up and put my time and energy into the business instead of having to get up and go to work, right? I plan my own schedule and I work for myself, which is a lot different, especially when you are so used to working for somebody else, so used to going to work and coming home and having that same routine over and over again, especially when you've been doing it for 16, 17 years, right? So it's been a big shift, and it's been a little bit of I have had to kind of, adjust is a big thing. But it's definitely been a blessing, especially for my family, especially for my mom, right? I mean, she's down the street, so I can literally walk to see her. I can drive to see her tomorrow. If I want to tonight, when I'm done here, I can go see her, right? I have never been able to do that before, right? Because a lot of the time I'd be at work for 16 hours or 12 hours, or when I come home from work, I'd be exhausted, so I wouldn't want to go anywhere. So for me, that means everything to me, more so than any sort of financial means. So
Thank you
thank you.
so much, Coach Dustin. Wow, it's really amazing to see that in our digital business, time freedom is very possible. Can't you see Coach Dustin is still cannot believe and is still adjusting of the life that he has, that he's working for himself, for his business, and not anymore for his employer. Congratulations, Coach Dustin. And yeah, sis Banji, what can you say about Coach Dustin's answer to question number 4?
So yes, and I resonate for that time freedom. It's very important for us, especially as a parents, being a parents, and of course, as a part time now, working in the healthcare industries. That's what I big decision for me to have more time for my family because the time we spend, they're growing, fast, and we doesn't know that just a few years it doesn't come back that time. So yes, yeah, time freedom for me is also very important. That's why I joined in this business, and also, of course, that's the goal: is to retire early before 65. So yes, I hopefully will do it. That's the goal. Okay, so yes, thank you, sis, and back to you, Smart Chris.
Thank you so much, Sis Banji. And yes, time freedom is real. Time freedom is very achievable in digital business. So, guys, take note of that. And yeah, you need to be inspired with the Coach Dustin story because it is very possible. Coach Dustin is just one of the hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that already achieved time freedom. Not only time freedom, but financial freedom because of this business. So let us go now to our next question. It is question number 5, and Sis Polita, kindly present our question number 5.
Thank you, sis. Hello, Coach, once again. And this is the question number 5. Many of our viewers are busy professionals, especially nurses, teachers, and parents who feel they don't have enough time. What advice would you give to someone who wants to explore a digital business but keeps saying, I'm too busy or I'm not a tech savvy?
Yeah, I mean, those are good questions. Obviously, I feel like we all feel that way to a certain extent. But the big thing for me and the big push for me is realistically, we all have 24 hours in a day, right? So my big thing is
Yes.
how much do you want your life changed, right? Do you really want a change in your current situation? Do you really want to wait from that? Because me and my brain, if you really do, you will explore. Sometimes I feel like we hide behind certain things, right? So, meaning saying things like, I'm too busy, I don't have enough time, I'm not sure if I can do this, right? All that realistically is encompassing that they're scared of some sort of failure, right? They don't want to move forward because they're not sure how it's going to. What's going to happen, if it's going to work out for them or not, right? So, but at the end of the day, we all have 24 hours in the day. So it really depends on how badly you want something, right? For me, when I started this business, I was going to school full time. I was upgrading my nursing at the time when I started, and I was also getting a different degree on top of my nursing. Then I was also working at the hospital. Plus, I had homework. Plus, I was doing this business and family, right? So again, it really is just dependent on how important a change is for you in your life. If you really want your life to change, you'll make it happen no matter what it is. But again, our business realistically is not meant to be done 24/7, right? It's meant to be flexible. It's meant to fit in pockets of your day when you're doing this business. So a lot of people do believe that they got to spend, 5 to 10 hours every day doing this business, but that's not the case. It is meant to be flexible. It is meant for busy families. It's meant for busy professionals. And that's why this business was built. And on top of that, we don't have to be tech savvy. Why? Because everything is created for you step by step. There's video based training that you plug into and that you watch. We have people who are as young as 18 to as old as 80 in this business. And a lot of people don't come with heavy tech skills. I know I didn't. All I knew was nursing when I first started this business, but everything is just broken down for you in video based training for you to learn. Just like anything else, I had to go to nursing school, I had to learn. Just like growing a business, you have to plug into the system and you got to learn along the way. So you really don't have to be tech savvy to do this business. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Dustin. Yes, you are right. This is not an overnight success. You need to put your heart and your effort into it. You need to be consistent into it, be persistent. You need to be hunger for change so that you will be able to make it happen no matter what. That is what Coach Dustin said. So, Sis Polita, what can you say about Coach Dustin's answer in our fifth question? Go ahead.
Thank you, sis. Oh, wow, that's very amazing. So, yes, everyone can relate it because when I started this business, I'm scared. I don't know where to start because I'm not a tech savvy. I'm not I always said I'm busy because I am a day home provider. I work 9 to 5 grind, 7 to 5. So my body is tired and my brain is tired. So but if you want change, you want something to better your life, then you have to do something because no one. And anyway, once again, congratulations, coach, for your early retirement. How I wish I can retire also. I said, wow. We know that there is a saying, life begins at 40, but you enjoy already your retirement, coach. So we hope that everyone also in this journey will retire early. So that is our main goal why we started this business. For me, when I said earlier, before I turn 50, I want to start this business because of my retirement. So most of the people will say, the people who are watching us right now, there are most of the people saying, "Oh, I cannot do it. I'm busy." But Coach Dustin said it was true that we have 24 hours, but we can also have time management. Look at what he said. He's working as a nurse. He's went to school and doing his online business. So what is why he did it, and he retired on her early age like us, everyone. We are in this business also. This is very doable and flexible, and you don't need to be a tech savvy. Why? Because we have a system, we have a step-by-step training, and if you don't understand, the reach out of those people, especially your mentor, your coach, and the community, because this business is not only for like getting rich, but we are here helping each other so you don't feel alone. So thank you so much, Coach Justin, and we are very proud and we are very inspired now because of your story. So back to you, sis Chris.
Thank you so much, Espolita. And yes, I just remembered what you said and what
Sorry.
Coach Dustin said. We have the same 24 hours. You just really need to do it. You need to manage it properly, your time, so that you will make it happen. To do your effort every single day, no matter what. Whether you're feeling sick, you're not feeling well, you're feeling happy, or you're feeling sad, you just need to do it every single day. So thank you so much for that, Coach Dustin. And yeah, thank you for those valuable insights that you have shared to us. And before we wrap up, we are going to ask you one last question that I believe will encourage everyone watching. Sis Del, kindly present our last question. And after that, you will also invite for our life changing webinar. Go ahead, Sis Del.
Where's the question? Okay. There we go. Okay. Coach Dustin, this is your last question of the day. So, if someone is watching tonight and feels stuck in the same routine but is afraid to take that first step, so what message would you like to leave them with? So, what would you say to encourage them to believe that it's never too late to learn something new, to create more option and in their future for their future?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, my number one go-to when I hear this all the time is how important it to get out of the same routine, right? Some people are okay with feeling stuck. Some people are okay with the same routine, right? So really, realistically, it's just dependent on where you're at in your life right now. Yeah, sometimes we are stuck, but do we want to do something different? Do we want to figure it out to feel unstuck, right? So my big thing is realistically is just how important is it to feel unstuck? How important is it to you to get out of the same routine over and over again? Like I said, some people are okay with doing the nine to five. Some people are okay with the same routine, right? So realistically, it's just identifying how important it is for you to have some sort of change. What is your direction? 20 years from now, 30 years from now? Do you know a direction, right? What are your goals? What are your dreams, right? So those are the big things for me. And I always say, if I can do it, you can do it, right? It's all about stepping outside your comfort zone. I know that very first step is scary. We all know that the unknown is scary, but it's like anything, right? You have to try to step in and learn along the way, right? We all had to learn how to drive at some point. We all had to take a road test. We all had to get behind a car. We had somebody else teaching us, right? But we learned how to drive. Same thing with going to school. We all plugged into schooling, reading, taking tests to graduate and get our 9 to 5, right? So it's the same thing. My big thing is that if I can do it, there's no reason why somebody else can do it. If we have 80-year-olds in this business who are very successful, there's no reason why other people can do it, right? We all know that there is people out there changing their careers and changing the trajectory of their life when they hit 60 or 65. So really, it's just never too late to try something new. So that's it.
Wow, thank you so much, Coach Dustin. You are right. Because if you want really a change in your life, you will really work for it. You need to really just do it. You need to have that greatest why of yours so that you will keep pushing forward. So thank you so much for that, Coach. That is really very inspiring. And Sis Del, what is your reaction with Coach Dustin's answer for our last question?
Yes, Coach. Thank you so much for that encouraging message to our viewer. And yeah, you're totally right. If you really want to move, or if you really want to have something different or some changes you would like to make in your life or into your business, is the choices, is your choices, is your decision to make that happen, right? So nothing gonna do it for you, right? So you're gonna make, if you wanna improve, you're gonna keep training, and the same thing as the work, like in our business. The good thing on this one, we did not pay a thousand of money just going to school, like 5-year career. Everything is already inside. We have the automation, we have the coaches, we have the mentors that always guiding us, and we had a lot. We are so lucky because this system is built for everyone that willing to learn, right? Okay, so to all our viewers, to everybody is watching us, so if you guys are interested and willing to learn how this digital business uh, happen, so we have this pre-workshop. We have the pre-workshop. This happen every Tuesday and Thursday. So we have a different time. So in my own time, it's gonna be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can just based on your own time. And we also have a replay. So this life-changing webinars is you can learn how this business work, and as well as what is everyone is inside. How everyone changed their life because of this business. So, what are you waiting for? The time is now. So, start. Don't wait the perfect time. The time is now to start the changes that we'd like to make for yourself and your family. Yun lang, sis.
Thank you so much, Sis Del. And yes, Coach Dustin, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us tonight. We truly appreciate your openness, your encouragement, and the lessons you have shared from your own experience. And to everyone who joined us live and to those who will be watching the replay, thank you for being here. We hope tonight's conversation has transpired you to believe that it's never too late to learn something new, develop new skills, and create more options for yourself and your family. So if you'd like to learn more about our digital business, yes, we've been talking about, or if you have questions about watching this interview, or just feel free to send us a private message or reach out to any one of us so that we can give you all the valuable information. So yeah, thank you again, Coach Dustin, and thank you to all our viewers. And we do appreciate every one of you. God bless, take care, and we'll see you in the next Digimompreneurs Live. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coach.
Coach Dustin. Thank you,